Mr. Ra, I mentioned the dinosaurs thing because I know this is one of the key areas that Christians have been kind of mocked and ridiculed and laughed at. And, can you honestly believe? I remember in the 2008 election, who was the actor? Matt Damon, I think it was. He said, I want to know if Sarah Palin actually believes dinosaurs walk the earth with man. I want to know if she actually believes that. And so it's something we've been mocked and ridiculed for. And I tend to turn into the storm and say, oh, yeah, let's talk about it. The evidence is overwhelming that the evolutionists have it wrong in so many areas, and one of them that's glaring is the issues of dinosaurs. I can make it absolutely clear the evidence is overwhelming that dinosaurs lived with human beings within just the last few thousand years. How would you explain that?
With the video series, there's a two-part video that I did on the 14th foundational falsehood of creationism, wherein I explored the various claims that were made by the falsified Peruvian Ica stones and by the sculpture of a pig that was misrepresented to be a stegosaurus and a number of other falsified things like that. But when we're talking about evolution and you talk about dinosaurs, I mean, I don't even want to get into dinosaurs to the point where I have to explain what a dinosaur is and what a dinosaur isn't and what the actual implications of that are. Because people, creationists tend to think that mosasaurs were dinosaurs and the plesiosaurs were dinosaurs, and they're not. And this is when they're arguing that birds are not dinosaurs and birds are dinosaurs. They are literally.
Okay, I respect the fact you believe that, but it doesn't change the fact.
That.
Okay, well,
I can prove that.
And actually, you can't. And by the way, I
can
prove
and it has already been done.
Okay, no, it has not been done. Those are the conclusions drawn by the evolutionists. But hold on there.
If you look at the ninth foundational falsehood of creationism, I prove
Mr. Ra,
dinosaurs.
You made a claim. You made a claim, okay, that what you debunk are the Inca stones and a pig's head that was treated as
not a pig's head.
Not a pig. A pig that was treated as a what was it, a pterodactyl or something? What was it again?
Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the Cambodian jungle temple, aren't you? Okay. Which, by the way, you can call that a pig all you want to. You're kind of kidding yourself, because pigs don't have those stegosaurus plates up and over the back.
Except that those plates are part of the background imagery, and stegosaurs didn't have external ears.
It's nothing more.
Stegosaurs didn't have hooves.
Okay.
They didn't have ears.
It's
and
nothing
they didn't have
more.
Diminished
you know something?
Anyone
you can claim.
Stegosaurs have great big tails
Mr. Rob,
with spikes on the end.
You know what, Mr. Rob? Seriously, I'm trying to be respectful with you. I really am, okay? But it's just not going to work this way, where I allow you to make a point, and then when I start making a point back, you don't like the third word I say, and then you attempt to talk over me. So I mean this respectfully.
I'm not misrepresenting your position.
I am not going to allow myself to be bullied by anyone, and that's what I would consider that to be. So I'm going to ask you to respectfully allow me to finish my points as I allow you to finish yours. I disagree with you that is an image of a pig. I would argue that is clearly a stegosaurus, but I don't even need to use. Mr. Ra, please. I don't even need to use
external ears.
Mr. Ra.
Stegosaurs don't have external ears.
Mr. Ra, I do not need to use the Cambodian jungle temple and from the Khmer civilization. I don't even need to use that. I don't need to use the Ica stones either. There's a whole host that I can use that you can take something like that and go, oh, whoever carved that stone in there made the ears look wrong or made the head too big or whatever. But now you're pinning it on the artist's accuracy as opposed to a clear imagery of a stegosaurus. But I can take both of those. I can take both of those examples. I can take both those examples and throw them away. And the Ica stones I don't use, but the Cambodian jungle temple, I think you're kidding yourself. But even if I gave you that and threw it away, there's too many. Mr. Ra, please. There's too many other countless examples of artwork, carvings, drawings, mosaics that are identical, that have the ears just right, okay, that have the head and the neck and the tail and everything else just right.
There isn't one you could produce.
There isn't? Oh, I suggest you look for them. Like, for example,
I suggest you tell me one that you will put yourself behind.
How about
you tell me, give me an example.
I'll tell you right now.
You give me one single example that you will announce on here that can be scientifically verified to be authentic and be a human, a pre-Columbian human
I'll give it to-
representation of a dinosaur, whatever you want.
I can give you over 30 of them right now. I could give you over 30 of them. Let me give you, just one or two. For example, in the Arizona Historical Society, ancient swords were excavated near Tucson, Arizona. They were excavated in 1924. The swords are referred, by the way, on page 331 of the book Lost Cities of North and Central America. You can look it up for yourself. They have various artwork designs carved into them. One sword has an exact brachiosaurus carved into it. If you look at this, you can show it to anybody. It looks exactly like it came out of a Jurassic Park movie. The Arizona Historical Society owns the sword. You can look at that picture of the brachiosaur. There's nothing ambiguous about it at all. You can't say, the ears aren't right. Nothing along those lines. That's one of example of 30 of them that I can give you right now. I would encourage you to look that up. You asked me to give you one, that's one. If you want two, I'll give you two. You want three, I'll give you three. We could spend all afternoon as I go through those. What I'm saying.
And then, if I were to take this, let's assume for a moment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to allow that on my blog at Ace of Clades, on the Free Thought blogs,
right,
that I will begin a discussion wherein we can have people bring up what they know about these swords that you're talking about.
All right.
And let's pretend for a moment that dinosaurs continued to exist in North America before Columbus got here, or even after, and somehow nobody ever noticed.
No, they did notice.
How does that impact evolution at all?
It impacts evolution. It impacts evolution theory because they claim, as part of the evolutionary theory, that dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago, and that they're separated by modern humans by about 64.8 million years. And this is just
of
one.
Course, for birds,
this is just one. This is just one. I'm talking about dinosaurs as we see them represented in the museums and the fossil record today. The Brachiosaurus, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Stegosaurus, Triceratops. You know full well what I'm talking about. And so what I'm saying is, when you see not only the countless recordings in history and drawings of these dinosaurs, but also physical written accounts of dinosaurs as well by people like Marco Polo, Pliny the Younger, when you add to that carbon dating done on dinosaur bones, dating them only to be thousands of years old. When you add to that fresh, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Now,
and they've been dated to be thousands of years old.
Carbon dating doesn't go back far enough.
I know. That tells you that the bones are not 65 million years old. That means that proves the dinosaur bones are not 65 million years old, because they should be absent of C14, right?
That you know is going to produce erroneous
No, that's
results.
not true at all.
You have to overlap results that will produce accurate results, and you have to use more than one of them. You have to use several concordant ones.
Mr. Rob,
just to show that the carbon dating doesn't work, you have several other concordant ones that align with each other.
Mr. Ra,
and that's how we know the carbon dating doesn't work.
I have bad news for you, okay? If the dinosaur bones are 65 million years old, then the carbon dating would be wrong. But if the dinosaur bones are not 65 million years old, you have to explain. You have to explain. Mr. Ra,
the other methods would be wrong.
Mr. Ra,
they're not wrong.
Mr. Ra, you are not giving me an opportunity to complete the sentences that I give you an opportunity to complete, okay? You have to explain why, for example, the University of Arizona's Department of Geosciences Laboratory of Isotope Geochemistry dated specifically on August 10th, 1990, carbon-dated, C14-dated dinosaur bones, and guess what? They had plenty of measurable C14 in them, which you should know is not possible if those bones are over about 100,000 years old.
I didn't say it's not possible.
The C14
to accumulate carbon.
You should no. You're not. They didn't. Are you saying that this evolutionary laboratory simulated the C14 inside of it?
Of course, I'm not saying anything so ridiculous.
Okay, well then
we know that there's other sources for carbon, and that these are not going to be indicative of the age of the fossil when you have overlapping other means.
Okay, what you're doing is you're trying to come up with some explanation for how the C14 in there.
I don't have to come up with an explanation.
Yes, you do.
Because if you're going to
yes, you do. Because if you're going to
not even in my area of expertise.
If you're going to argue these bones are 65 million years old, then it falls upon you to explain why they still have C14 on them. It falls on you to explain why dinosaur bones have been found and uncovered, completely unfossilized, unpermineralized, fresh bones that you know would biodegrade and turn to dust in a matter of centuries or certainly thousands of years. How they survive millions of years. I'm sorry?
I actually know that hasn't.
That has not happened? Really?
I know
fresh
that
dinosaur
has
bones.
not happened.
Fresh dinosaur bones have not been found.
That's right. Unless you're talking about birds.
Okay, I'm talking about no, not birds. I'm talking about actual dinosaur, the dinosaurs from the fossil record that we see recognized. My suggestion to you is to look up for yourself about the unfossilized dinosaur bones that were found that were recorded in the Journal of Paleontology, 1986-87 edition on pages 198 to 200, volume 61, number 1, written by evolutionary paleontologist Kyle Davies, or the journal Science on December 24th, 1993, pages 2020 to 2023, about the duck-billed dinosaur found in Montana that were fresh bones, not fossilized. Those are just two examples. I could give you several more.